so that we don't waste much time. So before I just want you guys to share the link so that people can keep joining in. We want everyone to benefit. It's a session where everyone can learn, like open their microphones and say anything because of time. I wish we did this. We did this in a longer period, but apparently we have few times. We have less time, so we need to utilize our time well. So the game goes like this. So every person is going to introduce themselves using three emojis. So I began with emojis. Those are my emojis: coffee, my machine, and okay, I use the lightning emoji because I love doing the. I think fast, so I love the lightning emoji. So I'm using the computer lightning and the coffee emoji because I love coffee. So each one of you is going to just send an emoji in the chat box, the chat box. Oh, it's a chat box. Okay, so that we can introduce ourselves. You can just write your name and the emojis that represent you. Yeah, we can do that before people keep joining in. Wow, come on, guys. I know most of you might be using your laptop, so there are no emojis. Okay, you can just use any emoji in the React section. Then you can just put your name or just write on it or make a reaction or something. Bonavita. Okay, you need to make some explanation there. Why the eye emoji though? Why the laughing emoji? Okay. That's amazing. Without further ado, without further ado, let me just introduce the moderator of the day, Miss Carla Chiruto, so that we can begin our session. Have a nice time.
Thank you so much, Shifra. My name is Carla Cheruto, and I am glad to be here. I'm a member of the Women in Tech Day, and I am also a cybersecurity student and expert, and I work at Leash AI Technologies as a software engineer. So, without further ado, because we have less time, I'm going to invite our first speaker, Bandana Kaur. You can continue sharing your screen as we go on. She's going to do our first session titled Hacking Like a Girl, the Zero-Day Mindset and Getting into Cybersecurity. Learn how to think like a hacker, embrace a zero-day mindset, and kickstart your cybersecurity career. So as she continues to share her screen, who is Bandana Kaur? Bandana Kaur is a 17-year-old
Yeah,
cyber.
I don't have a presentation, so I'm not going to share my screen. I hope that's okay.
Oh, it's okay. So let me just continue with her bio. She's a 17-year-old cybersecurity researcher, ethical hacker, and AI security enthusiast with a track record of securing critical systems, including NASA and the government of India, specializing in offensive security, threat intelligence, and AI-driven cyber threats. She has identified and mitigated vulnerabilities across major organizations, recognized as one of the top 30 ethical hacking content creators of 2025. Bandana is an influential speaker, educator, and an advocate for cybersecurity and AI. She has been featured in Women in Security magazine, spoken to major events like AWISDC, and appeared on multiple podcasts, including discussing AI, security, and diversity, equity, and inclusion in tech. As a guest lecturer for India's Cyber Surakshit Bharat program. She has trained over 100 government CISOs and helped introduce over 500 teams to cybersecurity through nice NIST initiatives. Currently, she is completing Harvard's CS50 AI program while finishing school, holding multiple industry certifications, including certified in cybersecurity, Cisco verified ethical hacker, and CISO AI level 1. So, despite her age, she's making significant contributions to cybersecurity, bringing AI and security while advocating for a more inclusive, accessible field. So, let me welcome Bandana. You're welcome.
Hi, thank you. So, should I start?
Yes, yes. Yeah, you can start.
Okay. So, hi
Khalid,
everyone.
can you share the screen?
Yeah, sorry, Shipna. You're not audible. I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, the screen's yes.
Okay, that's all right. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be here today, and a huge shout out to Shipra, of course, for making all this happen. I'm Bandana, and right off the bat, I just want to ask: do you think I look like a hacker? Because if you had asked 13-year-old me who loved painting her nails, loved wearing bangles, and dressing up, she probably would have said no, because she couldn't see herself in tech. Because back then, I watched tech people in movies and TV shows, and none of them looked or felt like me. It was either boys in hoodies or girls I just couldn't see myself in. So for the longest time, I couldn't figure out why that was. Why can't I see myself in tech? But then recently, I think some of you might have watched it as well. I watched a video that hit me really hard. Someone asked people of different age groups what it means to run like a girl. And as that age group got older, people started saying things like it means being fragile, it means taking care of your hair and stuff and being this fragile little creature. But as that age group got younger and younger, the answers were more and more powerful. Only 5-year olds said running like a girl means running the fastest that you can. And I think that's just an iconic answer. And that's when it kind of hit me because somewhere along the way, growing up, watching movies like Mean Girls and everything, we confused femininity as being incompatible with intelligence. And somewhere along the way, self expression became a bad thing. So now I go by Hack with Her and I hack like a girl. I'm a cybersecurity researcher or ethical hacker. As Carla introduced me, I have helped secure some of the world's most critical systems like NASA, the US Department of Education, the Indian government. And I also make content in the niche of cybersecurity. And somehow I tricked a whole lot of people into following me. So I have 30,000 followers on Instagram and 10,000 on LinkedIn. I've also been recognized as one of the top 30 content creators of 2025 in the field of ethical hacking. I've guest lectured on threat intelligence techniques to senior government officials and spoken to over 500 people, ranging from 8-year-old girls to 40 to 50-year-olds, on what it takes to get started in cybersecurity. And currently, I am independently researching AI security. I have some cool certifications as well, as Carla mentioned. And I almost forgot to mention, I'm still in high school and I'm juggling university admissions. So while I may not be an expert yet, I've learned that sometimes the most powerful impact comes from the people that are underestimated, the people that no one expects, the people that are overlooked, and from the girls that don't fit the mold. Now, speaking of unexpected things, that brings me to the first and perhaps the only technical thing we'll talk about today, and that is a 0 day. So, for those of you who aren't into security, a vulnerability, put simply, is a flaw in something, whether that's software, hardware, or firmware, that lets you hack it. And a 0 day is a type of vulnerability that's powerful precisely because no one sees it coming. Put technically, a 0 day vulnerability is a previously unknown security flaw in something that has not been patched by the vendor and is actively exploitable. And fun fact, the term 0 day signifies that developers have actually 0 days to fix the issue before attackers can exploit it. But no one cares about that. So, getting back to my point, what makes a 0 day vulnerability so impactful is that it's totally unanticipated and underestimated. And when I think about that, I can't help but realize we are the 0 days in this industry. I know, being women and coming from the backgrounds that we are from, we've all had experiences in one way or another when we've been denied a seat at the table, we've been rejected from a conference or a job. And, being my own age and coming from my own background, I have also faced rejection, sometimes in the most humiliating ways. And I know that it's painful, but so if they say you're too young, too inexperienced, you don't look like you could be in security, let's start taking that as a good thing, because that's our leverage, our attack vector, and it's our advantage, to be honest, because we can use it that way. And of course, I know that being in a situation like that is painful, but little by little, I want you to try and hack your own mindset to thinking that although you are underestimated, you are much, much more fierce than anyone could ever anticipate, just like a 0 day. And this is why I love cybersecurity, to be honest, because I'm an overthinker, as you can probably tell, and I'm a very chatty person. And cybersecurity just gives me a lot to think about and a lot of things that I can apply to my real life. And that brings me to something else. Now, let's say you want to hack your way into a career in cybersecurity itself. Where do you start? So, for those of you who don't want to get started in cybersecurity, I'm not going to waste much of your time. This will just be a very vague and simple roadmap for any girl who wants to, just dabble a little bit in security. So, this is definitely a question that a lot of people ask because cybersecurity is so vast and there are so many resources that you can follow, so many roadmaps. But the truth is, one size never fits all. So if you want to get started in reverse engineering, get started in reverse engineering. If you're into threat intelligence, get started with that. So there's no one size fits all in cybersecurity. Now, I'm going to give you a very simple flow. First, start with something very fundamental that tells you what cybersecurity is and the different niches in security, and something that forms a very beautiful baseline that's going to be beneficial pretty much whatever you do later. And for that, a resource that I recommend is the ISC2CC or the CompTIA Security Plus. The ISC2CC offers a free course as well, so you can take that anytime, anywhere. It's self-paced. Now, next, when you have selected your niche, don't overthink it. First, next, when you have formed that fundamental, pick a niche and don't overthink it. Because I was 14 when I started, and I started learning OSINT because I had just joined Instagram, and I found it crazy how somebody could be geolocated through their pictures. So I was just sitting there geolocating my friends on Instagram. But anyways, that's a story for another day. So don't overthink your first niche in cybersecurity. Just get into it, read some blogs, connect with some people who are experienced, learn what they do for a living, and start documenting your learning. Post blogs on LinkedIn, post things on Instagram about the things that you learn, and network with people who have experience. Now, another question that I get asked a lot is, so you're in cybersecurity, so you do coding. I do code. I mean, personally, yes, I started as a competitive programmer, in fact. But the thing is, you don't need to code to be in cybersecurity. There are plenty of non-technical roles as well. So I'm very biased here, but I think cybersecurity is for everyone. Now, the most important thing while learning cybersecurity is that you get overwhelmed a lot. I know Shipra probably relates to this. I relate to it. You get overwhelmed sometimes because you have to be a constant learner. So I want you to remember, it doesn't matter if you know everything at once. Cybersecurity is crazy fast, and you have to be a curious cat to survive here. You're not learning what to think, but rather how to think like a hacker. So, shifting to something else. At the heart, I am a cybersecurity girl. So before I wrap things up for today, I know this was very short, but before I wrap things up for today, I have got a little something prepared for you all. So whether you do decide or don't decide to pursue security doesn't really matter much. Being girls in tech and digital natives, there are some things that we should all know about surviving online. And I know cyber safety seems very cliche sometimes. So I promise not to bore you. So here's everything you need to know about cybersecurity as girls in tech in 3 minutes or less. So first of all, secure your accounts like your life depends on it because your digital life kind of does. Use a password manager, turn on multi factor authentication, and no, your childhood pet's name is not enough. And now I know this first point was a cliche one, but the second is stop posting pictures in real time. And I know this is kind of controversial, but I really believe that if you post your pictures in real time without explicitly geotagging yourself, you can still be located. Like I mentioned, I was 14 and I had pretty much dabbled a little bit innocent, and I was able to locate my friend's house. I think I posted a blog on that as well. But anyways, um, now, I also had a little case study based on this. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a social media influencer, I think from Ecuador, who was killed because she had unintentionally shared her location in one of her pictures. So I want you to be safe out there and post pictures of yourself only after you come back home. Now the third, air tags and creeps. Now I don't know if this is very prevalent in India. I don't think it is, but you need to be aware of it. Tech-enabled stalking is very much real. So if your phone says an unknown Bluetooth tracker is tracking you, that's not a fun little surprise from Apple. It's a red flag. Check your bag, check your car, and trust your gut. The next and most important as a girl, secure your DMs. If some random crypto bro or tech mentor slides into your inbox with a life changing opportunity or offering mentorship, run for the hills because that's a scam. Now, the last but definitely not the least, and the most important in the era of deepfakes and AI. Now, a lot of people ask me, what do you do when you're in such a situation where somebody is deepfake extorting you? Now, let me explain what that means. Deepfake extortion is a very much prevalent cybercrime where a person uses AI to make inappropriate pictures of you and blackmails you with them. But what do you do if you are stuck in such a situation? Remember, FAKED, faked. Forget fear because most of these threats are just bluffs. Alert authorities around you. Keep receipts. Keep documenting everything. Keep screenshots. Evaluate what's fake because AI tools and forensic experts can easily prove it's not real. And D, don't engage. Don't worry because no, don't worry. No negotiations. No payouts. Starve the attacker of control. And if nothing else, I just want you to remember this. If something feels off online, it probably is. So trust your intuition over anything else in the digital world. Now, I don't know how much of today's webinar resonated with you, but if there's one thing I want you to carry from what we talked about today, it's that if they deny you a seat at the table, always remember you are a 0 day and you're powerful enough to build your own damn table. Thank you and have a nice day.
Lovely. That was a lovely presentation from Anna Kaur. I would like to welcome anybody who has any questions or anything to ask about it. You can raise your hand and then speak up. As I wait to see the hands, maybe I can mention what I've seen. What I've had, basically, she's shown us that it's very possible for you to get into cybersecurity at any age. She's reminded us of a few things that you can do to secure yourself. That is, secure your accounts, use password managers, use the two-factor, multi-factor authentication. Don't put your pictures in real time. Secure your DMs and check for scams. That's what I have learned. Maybe you can say, as the people who are in the meeting, what have you learned from this, or any questions that you do have, you can speak up.
Yeah, sure. If anybody has any questions for me, I would love to answer them.
Lovely. I can see any hands.
Yeah, I think somebody raised their hand. Paris. Here, would you mind turning on your microphone? Paras, I see you've raised your hand. Would you mind asking the question?
Um, Paras, are you with us?
I think maybe that's a technical error.
Yeah, maybe it's a technical error. We can maybe before I close that section, does anybody have a question or something to add? Okay, we'll move on to our second session by Gida Abdallah Omar. She's going to be taking us through technology for social impact. So if you do have any slides, Gida, maybe you can share them as I continue. Who is Gida Abdallah Omar? She's a passionate advocate for gender equality, innovation, and community empowerment, dedicated to using technology to solve community-driven challenges. As the founder of Girls I Save, she has empowered over 5,000 girls in STEM and innovation, developed the first Girls I Save app prototype to address gender based violence, and led impactful mentorship programs. She's a student of information technology at the Technical University of Mombasa. Gida is also a Generation Connect Youth Envoy with ITU, a project associate at Scienverse, and a 2025 CEE Exchange Program winner. She has been recognized globally, winning the Innovation for Social Change Award, being a finalist for the 2025 Presidential Award and receiving the Pwani Women Award Rising Star recognition. Additionally, she volunteers for UNHCR, has presented youth in IFRC innovation initiatives, and continues to champion technology as a tool for social impact. You are welcome, Gida.
Thank you so much, Carla. Big round of applause to all the speakers who are here and all those that are joining us. My name is Ghaida Abdullah, the founder and CEO of Girls ISF Africa, and a passionate young innovator. And I'm always motivated to speak about solutions, especially community oriented. I think one of the speakers that is, I'll just pick it up with her, mentioned something very critical. And I also learned a lot. I believe we as speakers as well are going to learn a lot from other people. I don't have a slides to share, but I think I can kick off my today's session. So I will just start with a story about me. Because when I grew up, I was in a very, like conserved community where young girls were only intimidated and also less opportunities were given to them. But I wanted to change the narrative. I literally could see, my sisters, my close friends, getting married. And I just told myself when I was in primary, like, I want to be the change. So I diverted my attention when I went to high school. I became a school president and leadership, joined hands in my curiosity. And I was trying to find my purpose while I was in school. I started doing projects in chemistry category, in physics category. And then what won me the Young Scientist Kenya Award in 2023 when I was still in high school was me being recognized as the first young girl girls. Sorry about that. So, GBV cases and connecting young girls to mentors and STEM educators. So that was the point where I understood myself, because that is the very important thing for young girls, especially women, to be able to identify your niche. Just like the way as one of the colleague speakers said, like, it is very important for you to identify your niche. So as a young 17-year, when I was in high school in Form 4, I realized like my passion is in building solution. And what kind of solutions do I really want to build? I have passion for community work, so I combine community work and innovation. And that's why I'm going to talk about technology for social impact, and that is like innovation oriented. So when I won the Young Scientist Kenya Award, I was recognized in Kenya as a young presenter who is building solution in the tech field that is community oriented. That was the first winning confidence for me. So sometimes whatever you're trying to build, make sure you're very confident about, and always, always believe in what you do. One lesson you'll pick from me is that not everybody will support you at the beginning. That is very common. Nobody was ready to support me, and everybody thought I was, like stupid, I would say. Even some of my teachers thought, like, what is this girl doing? She's wasting her time. But post high school, I joined in now to the real world, now opening opportunities, and that's where my tech journey started. And my building of Girls ISAF also put forward to ensuring that I am bringing more girls in the field of STEM and innovation. When I started after high school, I worked with a team that was really motivated. I started moving to schools. I started going to different places beyond just Mombasa, where I come from, so that I can be able to inspire more girls. I started using social media, which was something very, very, very hard for me because of my community background and cultural background. But then I took the initiative because I knew that was the only tool for me to, like empower and reach more people beyond just like the comfort of my home. And that's why I started doing advocating for STEM and innovation. I started getting recognition at different level to international level. I was invited to speak in China, innovation for social impact, something that was like an eye opening for me as well as for the many young people that were looking up to me. I always carry that because you're walking into a platform and everybody asks themselves like, where is this young girl coming from? People tend to intimidate you just because of your physical appearance or because of the kind of person you are. But literally, when you bring to the table what you have, the knowledge, the skills, and what you're trying to implement in the community, people appreciate you. People will find confidence in you. So that is also another key takeaway. Sometimes it's okay for people to always see you in a different way. It's totally fine. But as long as you know what you're doing, you know the impact of the work that you're putting out there, especially in the field of technology and in what solution you're building. Later on, I'm going to talk about how it is to break down in building solutions. But I'm just sharing with you my journey because it's something that I feel will resonate with every young person who is trying to build something beyond just, like comfort of your home. So when I started getting recognition, I was invited to speak in China. I came back to Kenya. I was selected for CE exchange program, one of the biggest program in the whole world, and they only select one person in the whole country. So I happen to be representing Kenya. So all these things will come along the way, but you need to be able to understand what exactly you want to do. And that is me today speaking about innovation for social impact. You're not only building solutions. Remember, you are building people's life. You're trying to change some of the things that are affecting the community on the ground. And that is what is about building for social impact. You're building a technology solution, yes. What is that solution trying to solve? Most people fail because they try to focus on the technology aspect and you tend to forget the problem that you're trying to solve, which is very key. So, what I will advise is focus on the problem and then now come back to the technology that you're gonna use. And many people think that it's very important for you to have, coding skills and stuff. That is part and parcel. When you're the vision bearer or the mind that is carrying the idea, you can always work with a team, and you can also use tools like Thinkable, to build with no code experience, especially when you're dealing with technology-based solution. And just to mention that innovation is not you bringing something new. Sometimes it's also about improving on the real existing solutions. People have built solution. So sometimes if you're a young person, a young woman out there, you're trying to innovate to build something. Please don't think of bringing something out of the jungle. Miracles or stuff. You can always look into some of the solutions that have been made and find the challenges or the gaps that you can see and then build from there. And the solution that you make, ensure that it is directly like affecting, like it's going to impact people's life. Like the app that we're trying to build as an MVP that has been recognized quite a lot is we're trying to build a gender-based violence reporting platform that's going to allow report making on issues of GBV, connecting them to STEM opportunities and mentoring them to successful careers. So that is what we are trying to do. And that is what we are building. And that is what we are innovating for. So that is what we are doing. And that is what we are building. And that is what we are innovating for. So that is what we are doing. And that is what we are innovating for. So that is what we are building. And that is what we are who am I building this solution for? Because if you're not building it without targeting any person, then I don't think you're building something which is like tangible enough. So my journey went on. I started getting recognition. I have been moving up and down beyond just Kenya to be able to inspire more people. And like the speaker previously mentioned of using social media as a platform, which is very powerful in advocating and reaching more people. So I'm gonna give you a little breakdown of how it is to innovate when it comes to community oriented solutions. One is you need to identify a community problem. When you talk of technology for social impact, remember you're building something that is for the community. So you need to be able to identify, start where you are, what challenges are there around you. I was talking to one of my mentees and I told them, try and identify 100 challenges in your own community, from water, from drainage system, from environment, climate change. List down like 100 of them. And then out of these 100, I am 100% sure you will never miss one or two solutions to work on. And always align your solutions to the sustainable development goals, so that at least you are contributing to the global impact within the community. So imagine you having like a hundred challenges. I'm sure you will get something that is going to help you build. And what you can also pick is like what frustrates you more in all these challenges. What is it that you think you have the power to change? When you're thinking for community, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the people you're trying to build the solution for. So most of the successful businesses, startups, they've only been successful because the problem they're trying to solve is entirely connected to them. Like Girls ISAF is highly connected to me, and that's why it is like very directive. So one, start where you are, find the challenges that you can find and work towards that. Two, you need to be able to learn like basic skills that are gonna help you, whether it's code or no code skills, but some of the platforms that you can use to help like design your prototype, design your MVP. Could be Canva, could be Figma. You could set up with a team that we're going to work on this. You could use Webflow, Thinkable, things that are gonna help you. And just to mention is that YouTube can be your best teacher. You can learn through YouTube and you can be able to build something. When you're building, doesn't I find it hard when someone asks me, but Gade, I don't know how to code. I am like, yes, you don't know how to code, but you can use sources for you to at least come up with a minimal viable product, an MVP, something that you can showcase to someone, and maybe, or even a team that you can get to work together along your journey. So that is very, very important. And you necessarily not need to be very knowledgeable to build a solution. You only need to be able to understand the problem and then work towards it. Thirdly, I would say you do not need to like reinvent the wheel. You can definitely learn from others, just like I was trying to mention. You cannot like entirely want to build something from a scratch. We have over billions of people, like 7 billion plus people in globe. Obviously, something that you want to build, someone else maybe have done it or might have done research on it. So you not necessarily have to be like starting from scratch. So always like look into the internet, get to understand the problem you're trying to solve. Has anyone done something similar to that? Has anyone like improved, so that you can be able to find, like I said, the gaps, and then you can move forward and now innovate based on what you've identified. So find what is missing in this solution and then find what you can improve on. That is innovating. That is building up. So you not necessarily have to go from scratch. And then what I also want to advise is you can go on and start with a small project. Build a prototype. When I was building Girls ISAF at that time in high school, I didn't even know how to code. I didn't even know what technology is all about. So what I did, I used Thinkable and I was able to build the first MVP of Girls ISAF. And you don't need like to have a very perfect app. You just need something that can work. Even one click of a button in the whole project you're trying to build could scale up your idea to people seeing the potential in it. Because definitely even big investment companies and technology companies, they've just started with an MVP, and that's how they moved forward. So you can be able to like create something small that you can be able to present when you're pitching or when you're like asking for someone to support you and stuff. And most importantly is find mentors and partners. No one builds impact alone, literally. Nobody can be able to build impact on their own. It's like next to impossible. That's what I can say. Because when I was building Girls ISF, I remember I had a mentor, and that was one of the most people that really supported me at all levels. So nobody, like I mentioned, nobody makes or builds impact alone. You need to work with people, and it's very important for you to find the right team. So be very cautious on that. Build with a team. Always find advice from people who have experience in that field. Like I used to have a mentor, and right now I mentor so many young people. So you need to be able to have mentors and people partners that you can work together. No one can build impact alone. That is very, very, very true. And I think if you can be able to work on that, it's going to help you a lot. Because if you say you want to do everything on your own, it might not be possible, because you don't have the skills, and you need to spread team. With Girls ISF right now, we're working with like a team of 6 young people, and that is how we are building, and we are creating more impact. We are reaching more people. So you can connect to different organizations. If you're in Kenya, please connect with Young Scientists Kenya. If you're in Mombasa, connect with Heliport Hub. You can apply for different programs, and you can get selected to different mentors. And if you need a mentor, I can be there for you. Again, it's always important for you to measure your impact and also improve on daily times. Social impact means you really need to work with people on a real-time base and improve people's, lives, and also impact at different levels. So you need to know how many people do you want to target, what is the scope of your innovation, is it within just Mombasa, are you targeting beyond Mombasa, or are you targeting beyond Kenya? That is very critical. And what is the feedback you get from them? Sometimes when you build, you can have it tested, you can do like Google form, you can do like a campaign about it, so that people can be able to know about it. And just like Shipra I think mentioned, you need to document what you do. I think what has really helped me so far is, even the smallest thing I will do in that day, I will post about it. And that is how people will get to connect with you on a daily basis. That is very, very, very crucial. Document what you do. And also, sometimes it's okay to fail at the beginning. It is very okay to fail. At some point, you might not be able to achieve everything because you're starting. And always starting is never easy. It always needs you to, keep doing it, keep trying, keep seeking advice, going back to the same thing again, again, and again. And believe me that if you want to change anything in your life, it always has to come from you. If I need to change my life, like the way I was telling you guys, I had to take the initiative to change. Otherwise, nobody will be there to change that for me. So it is very important to understand that you are the only person that can change your life, and you can change the life of other many young people. And you don't have to be, in Silicon Valley for you to innovate. You can do it right here in Kenya. You can do it right there in India. You can do it right there in anywhere. As long as you have, the passion for it, as long as you have the motivation to build solutions, you can always do that. You just need to be confident in what you want to do, and also to be empathetic enough, because you're building for community. So I am really, really happy to have, like shared my insights, my inspiration with all of you. And just to leave you all, I really resonate with Mahatma Gandhi's, quote when he says, like, when she says that change is possible, but you only have to be the change. So you have to take the initiative to change. And Nelson Mandela mentions that education is the only powerful tool that you can use to change the world. So learn, be very open to learning, and keep learning, because that's the only way you can be able to build solution, innovate, and change the society you come from. Thank you so much, and it's an honor for me to speak here today. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely. That was beautiful from our speaker, Gida. Maybe I can give a chance for a question or two. If you have something to say, you can write it in the comments or raise a hand to ask. As I wait for the hands and the chats, maybe I can do a recap of what I have learned. I have learned basically, when you want to start on a problem, first you identify the problem, you check on what where you are, what frustrates you, and then the second thing, you learn basic skills that can help you to move forward, and then you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can start from things that have already been done and learn from them, and then you can start with a prototype. Use the tools that are available to build something that you can show others, and it's very important to find mentors and partners, and you should be able to measure your impact as well. So that was a beautiful, beautiful session. I don't see any hands. Maybe I can pause for a minute for anybody who has a question or anything to add, to raise their hand and speak.
Yeah, if you have any question for me, I would be more than willing, to answer. So please feel free to, like just shoot it up.
Yes, and you're also welcome to continue it in the chats. I've seen that people are much easier to work with in the chat. So if you're a bit anxious, you can just type it out in your computer and you can see it and review it. Yes, I see a hand from Bonavita. You're welcome.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you, Hakwitha. Thank you, Gita. Maybe not just a question, but just like a key takeaway, because I've been around people who maybe have asked, so how can I impact the society, right? So they're trying to find solutions that they can actually build on. And there's one thing that you mentioned that and for me, I think it's like a great hack. You might have just said it like maybe a by the way, but for me, it's like a great hack. So you sit down and you write, like, you have a list of like 100 problems, and then you pick one that resonates with you. And I think that's the one thing that I think that's the one major thing that I've taken from what you said. So thank you for that.
Most welcome. Please do that, and then next you share with us what you've been able to come up with.
Yes,
Thank you.
That's lovely, Bonavita. Maybe we can give a chance to one more person. Okay. Lovely. In the interest of time, thank you so much, Gita. We'll move on to the next part, the next session. It's going to be done by Palesa Christina Tsiba. She's going to be doing decoding imposter syndrome, hacking your self-doubt. She has a Bachelor of Science with honors in computer science. She's a student with deep interest in cybersecurity and strong commitment to breaking down barriers for women in the field. Palesa is a Women Changemakers ambassador with the WTM Southern African Region board member as well. Understanding the impact of imposter syndrome firsthand, she wants to use her own personal experience to inspire other women to embrace their potential and never let self-doubt conquer. Palesa is a Cyber Girls Fellowship alumni and was recognized as one of the women in tech in Lesotho at the first cybersecurity hackathon hosted in Lesotho in 2024. You're very, very welcome, Palesa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carla. I think I should start sharing my screen. I'll be presenting in a minute. Okay, so as I'm sharing my screen, I'd like to talk a little bit about myself. My name is Palesa Tsiba from Lesotho. I have a BSc Computer Science degree gained from Lesotho, the National University of Lesotho. I am currently studying BSc Computer Science honors level at the University of Pretoria. I am a Cyber Girls alumni, like it was said in the introduction. I am a Women Changemakers Southern Africa board member, and I am a Women Changemakers ambassador globally. So today we will be decoding imposter syndrome and looking at tools that will help us hack the self-doubt in the field of technology and in the field of cybersecurity. So what is imposter syndrome? You know that nagging feeling that you have that makes you feel like you are a fake and that you are not being truthful of the skills you have or the potential you have. So we have to know that imposter syndrome is not about lacking the skill. It's about believing in your head, in your mind, that you don't have the skills, even though you actually do have the skills. So almost everyone experiences this in some point in their lifetime. Um, it's it's about, especially when you face challenges or when you get into new spaces. For example, myself, when I first got here in South Africa for studying my honors, I felt like um, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm not sure if I'm in the right space, but I started working on that and telling myself that I do deserve to be here and I am at the right space and I did make the right choices. So, what are the common symptoms of imposter syndrome? You can note from this list like just one of the things you tell yourself about at some point or you feel deep down at some point. So, how does imposter syndrome actually feel? It makes you have that self doubt. It makes you question if you really have what it takes to do the thing that you're supposed to do. Like, and it instills that type of fear in you where you are afraid of failing at some point, or it makes you take your successes as if they are luck. Like, makes you feel like, oh, I just got lucky here. I didn't have the skills. I think it was an easy task. Also, having imposter syndrome will give you feelings of wanting to be perfect, like mean like telling yourself that if I don't do this task perfectly, then I have failed in whatever it is that I'm doing. And also, some symptoms can be downplaying your accomplishments, not giving yourself the grace of what you have achieved in your life, even if it's small or huge. You feel like that wasn't like a huge accomplishment. I didn't really deserve it or so. And then it also makes you want to somehow compare yourself to others, especially in the social media spaces where people are thriving, where people are showing their successes, and people are sharing on LinkedIn, I got a job, I got a new certificate. It makes you compare yourself and then feel like you are somehow not in the right place or you are somehow faking it or don't have what it takes to be in that space. Also, it can make you feel like you are making mistakes, especially in cybersecurity. As somebody who is working on becoming a cybersecurity specialist, I'm enrolled for computer science, right? And there's a module that I'm doing now that's in cybersecurity. I get so frustrated at times of failing or not being able to to do the tasks that I'm given in cybersecurity. It gives you, imposter syndrome gives you that fear of making mistakes, especially in cybersecurity, where making even the smallest mistakes can be fatal or can have a huge impact. Okay, so my story. So, in 2018, I was in first year at the National University of Lesotho. studying for my undergraduate BSc Computer Science. In the first year, I felt as though I didn't have what it took to be there. I would take people's comment on, you are a girl and you look so young. Are you sure you're going to be able to cope in this field? And it just instilled that self-doubt within me that maybe they are right. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen this course. Maybe I just can't do it. But then the years went by and I graduated from the National University of Lesotho. I graduated and it was all good. I had learned the things that I needed to learn. I had achieved what it was I went there to get, to school to get. And then in 2024, I was enrolled in the Cyber Girls Foundation, Cyber Safe Foundation Cyber Girls Fellowship, where we were being taught the fundamentals of cybersecurity, and then we got into different fields. I started posting a lot on LinkedIn. At first, it felt like, am I doing right? What are people going to say? Like it gave me all those questions, like, am I even capable of doing this? But then in late 2024, I went to sit for my CC exam, ISC2 certified in cybersecurity exam. I passed on my first try. The imposter syndrome hit again. Like, were you actually able to do that on your own? How did you achieve it? Like, you must have gotten like this small close to the pass mark, only you actually didn't put enough in it. But then that was it. I had passed the CC exam, and then fast forward, I got recognized as one of the women in technology in Lesotho by the Lesotho Communications Authority at one of our hackathons, the first ever held hackathon in the cybersecurity hackathon in Lesotho. And that made me realize that I do have what it takes. I can like work on myself and actually achieve anything that it is that I tell myself that I can achieve. Okay, so here are some tools you can check for rewiring your brain when you feel like imposter syndrome is starting to kick in. So what you'll do, you will name it to tame it. You know, when that thought comes into your mind, you should be able to realize that that's imposter syndrome speaking to me, and tell yourself that that is imposter syndrome. And from our Cyber Girls mantra, there is a line that says, it is my favorite line, that says, I am resilient. You need to tell yourself that you are resilient, that you are capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do. And then you can challenge the evidence. Try looking back into the things you have achieved. Try looking back into the skills that you have built, how you have grown from back then when you were starting, and how you are still growing. Also, celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge the progress you have made, no matter how small. It can be passing in an online quiz that you didn't think you'd pass. Celebrate like those small things. Celebrate completing a short course. Celebrate your smallest wins. And then another thing is to focus on growth, not perfection. You know, we learn from making mistakes. So you need to learn like, okay, I have this task now. I am not sure how to tackle it. I am not sure how I'm going to get my results. learn from those small things, that the smallest mistakes you make. If you had done a mistake in your assignment, check the results, learn from that mistake, and then in the next assignment, you will know that I need to do this differently. Then the last one here is to practice self compassion. Be compassionate to yourself. Be as friendly to yourself as you are friendly to other people, as you are friendly to your friends. And my mentor in the Cyber Girls alumni, Cyber Girls Fellowship would tell us to give yourself grace. Give yourself grace because you deserve it. You deserve whatever achievements you're getting. You deserve kindness. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And be gentle with yourself. Don't be harsh all the time. Okay. Then we can move on to the practical tools. The toolkit, this is like your toolkit for fighting the imposter syndrome. Like I said, keep your wins, like keep note of your wins. You can even write them down, keep track of them, no matter how small. Whenever you get that feeling that, oh my God, I feel like I am being fake, I feel like I am doing whatever it is, like here online that I don't really actually have the skills to do, keep track of your smallest wins, because the moment you get those feelings, this wins list will be helpful, very helpful. And then create positive affirmations. Tell yourself you are going to win. Tell yourself that you are resilient. Tell yourself that you are knowledgeable, as we used to do in our Cyber Girls mantra. We tell ourselves that we are knowledgeable, we are excellent, we are resilient, we have what it takes to do whatever we're doing. And then try focusing on your strengths, but also beware that your strengths are not in some way your weaknesses. I am a very passionate person. I like perseverance. I like following, like running after the things I want to get. But then sometimes that could be a weakness in some way, because if it happens that I don't get what I want, it strikes me and gives me that that kind of sadness that, oh, you were not able to achieve that thing. So try to identify what your strengths are, and if they turn out to be your weaknesses, try to find ways to make them not to be weaknesses but to grow from them. And then fake it till you make it, with caution though, because you can't be faking it and then not working on it. What I mean here is, if you have to be like somewhere or at an event to talk somewhere, you need to act confident. Act confident, even if you feel scared, even if you feel like you can't do it, even if you feel like you are not capable of it, but keep that confident posture. Look confident even if you feel you aren't confident, but don't be dishonest with yourself, especially in your skills. In the skills part, you actually need to build your skills and not just show people on LinkedIn that I have this type of skills, whereas you don't have the skills. That could be fatal. Sorry. So look at this action plan, choose from it even one of the things here, choose from it, and then try implementing it in your life, in your daily life. You can challenge that one negative thought. Like, the sooner you get the thought should be the sooner you tell yourself that this thought is not going to take me down. I am capable. And if you feel you don't have the skills to do whatever it is you're supposed to do, then work on it until you are confident that you have the type of skills. And that to do that, you can practice a skill a day, 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, depending on how you're able to stay focused. And then, especially for women, you can try and find a community in tech or cybersecurity. I am currently working on finding a community in cybersecurity. Well, I am already in one, being the Cyber Girls Fellowship. I feel I need to expand more and join more. And I am in the Google developer groups, tech communities. I am in the women changemakers communities. That helps a lot. You get to network with people, you get to learn a lot of things from those. And then share how you feel with somebody you trust. Don't bottle everything on your own, but it has to be somebody you trust, because you need to be sure that this person will not criticize you. Even if they do criticize you, it should be in a way that will help you to grow. And then reach out to a mentor or somebody in your field that has made it, that is like advanced in the field. Try and talk to them, get guidance from them and from your mentor. I think you can learn a lot. I learned a lot from my mentor. I learned how to identify my weaknesses. I learned how to identify my strengths, and I learned how to be kind to myself, because when I was in the Cyber Girls Fellowship, I would go so hard on myself and overwork myself and not rest, and then feel guilty if I don't understand the things that I was doing. And okay, in this toolkit, I would like you to go after this event, take either one of the items, start working on it, and see if it helps you in a way. This is a cool, and I think it spoke to me in a way that you should trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. It was in the past weeks when I asked a friend of mine to explain to me the concepts of this one topic I was not getting at school. And then as he was explaining, he was asking me questions. And when I was responding, he said to me, "You actually do understand these things more than you think you do. So you need to trust yourself and have confidence in yourself, because you know things that you don't know that you know." Thank you so much, everybody. This is the end of my presentation. I can take questions now.
Yes, lovely presentation, Palesa. Anybody with a question, you can raise your hand. Yes, as I wait for the questions that are surely coming along. Thank you so much, Palesa, for being vulnerable and telling us about this, because it's something that doesn't get spoken about too much, but it's important and a lot of people are going through it. I can go through what I have gotten. You've shown us the symptoms. If you are in these meetings and you have the symptoms, you can identify like 3 or 4 that you do have. You can look at the tools that is named to tame it, challenge the evidence, celebrate the small wins, focus on growth, not perfection, and provide self-compassion. Be compassionate, and you can use the practical tools and lift yourself out of this situation. And also, you can look for partners and mentors. I think that's something that has been said throughout all the 3 speakers that have spoken till now. So it's very important, and it's a topic that is that should be spoken about more, and we should all deal with, so that we can move forward even faster and better. So I welcome any questions. You can raise your hand, mention it in the group, or you can also just speak it out. Yes, Bonavita, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Palasa, for your session. So I have a question. Then, we are supposed to give ourselves grace, but then how do you balance between giving yourself grace and not allowing yourself to be complacent? You get?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, you have to know like the limits that you'll give yourself grace. Uh, be limit your, I don't know what you want to do to give yourself grace, and knowing that you shouldn't be complacent in things that you are doing, because once you start getting complacent, you are going to start doing things wrong. You are going to start not giving much effort on your work, much effort on your skills. What I mean is, take time to rest, but then do not rest uh, for too long, maybe, but know when to do your work and know when it's time to rest. Because if you push yourself in doing work past your limit, then you won't even know what you're doing at the point you get. Yes, I hope I did answer your question.
Lovely, Bonavita. Maybe you can welcome somebody else as well. Don't be shy. You can ask a question. Okay. Before we close this session, maybe you have anything to add as well, Palesa?
Oh, I don't have much to add from my side. I'll just drop in the chat how we can connect on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with everybody here on LinkedIn and on other social media platforms. You can find me by, I think it's by my full name. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. So we can move on to the next session, and it's going to be one of our last sessions. It's going to be done by Lynette Wanjiku Kinyua, who is the co-founder and board member of Pensoft Systems Limited. She's going to be speaking about gender equality. Lynette, if you do have any slides, you can start sharing them as I go through your introduction. So, who is Lynette? Lynette Wanjiku is a business leader with over 15 years of cross-industry experience, having held strategic leadership roles across Africa. She transitioned from hospitality, where she was sales manager at Serena Hotels for 10 years, to technology, now serving as director at Pensoft Systems Limited, a Pan-African software company with offices in Kenya, Mauritius, Ghana, Uganda, and Zambia. She holds an MBA from Daystar University and a bachelor's in management from USIUA, alongside certifications from APSA, Google, AWEC, the Grace National Trust, and Tech Cable. She has had some recognitions and awards, for example, for year 2022, that is the Fin Founder of the Year. She's been recognized as one of the top 100 cybersecurity women to watch 2024, Founder of the Year in the category of Techpreneur, Eastern Africa 2024, Best Business Management Tech Solutions Provider, Digital Tech Awards 2024, MasterCard's Women SME Leaders Award 2023. She was shortlisted. Female Founder Initiative 50 Under 50, Middle East and Africa 2023. She's been a judge at Africa Business Heroes WIA 540 jury. She's been a speaker at Africa Women in Tech 2024, a mentor under Women in Africa and Deloitte program, a co-author on the book How We Raise and Thrive. And a little bit about her company, about Pensoft Systems Limited. It was founded in 2009. Sorry about that. I was speaking about I apologize for that. I think you can continue on, Miss Lynette.
All right, thank you so much, Clara, and for the introduction too. I hope you can hear me. All right.
Yes.
All right. Now, the advantage or disadvantage of being last is that most of the points have been covered already. So I'm just going to brush through a few points here and there. So now, growing up, I always wanted to be an accountant. But when I went to university, I decided accounts was not for me, and I changed that to hotel management. And so after my degree, I joined Serena Hotels for 16 years, different capacities. And then while I was there, I thought, okay, maybe I needed some change. And that's when I joined the tech industry. So really what I would like to say, it's never too late to join the industry. So I'm the co-founder of Pensoft Systems Limited, a software development company. Over the years, we have progressively rolled out different solutions, all tailored to meet the unique needs of our clients. And some of our solutions are in pensions, health management, insurance, real estate, job evaluation, digital portals, and e-commerce. So I've actually covered my entrepreneurship journey on a book that I've co-authored called How We Rise and Thrive. It's on Amazon, in case you'd like to know more. All right. Now, what I would say about gender inclusivity is, according to a report by the International Telecommunication Union, women make up 20 to 30% of the ICT workforce in Africa. But based on the changes that we've been having, we are optimistic that the numbers will actually go higher. And some of the barriers of equality is stereotypes and biases. The perception that tech is a male-dominated industry, yeah? So we should actually stop that. Women can do it too. And then there's lack of representation, the scarcity of women role models. I've also, as women, think we're not shouting enough. We need to do that so that we can motivate others. And unconscious biases when it comes to hiring and promotions. And then another monster is work-life balance challenges. You see, as women, we jungle a lot, and you have to do that in military precision because tech is also demanding. It's also quite demanding. So what are the importance of gender diversity? So it actually improves, if we include everyone, women are very creative, so it improves innovation and creativity, and then it also enhances our decision making. Yeah, the more you are, the more the decisions will have better outcomes. And then it also boosts the company. There's nothing as good as you go to a company and you find the women and the men are there in equal measures. That would be the best thing. Now, what I'm saying there's going to be change as we go on the gender is because nowadays we have career talks. You find groups going to talk to students in schools about careers and ICT. So that will also really help in increasing the number of women that we have in tech. And then there are mentorship programs. We all need mentors. We actually all need mentors. So it's good to have one. And once you're mentored and you're there, also mentor other people. And then these trainings that are happening in organizations now, for both. And then, and then there's outreach programs. Nowadays, you find many schools have these STEM programs. So you find children as young as 7 years are doing coding. So those are some of the things that will really help when it comes to gender inclusivity. And then what do we do? Now, tech, you need to be knowledgeable. That's the truth. You need to keep on upgrading yourself because for people like us, we do software development. We need to keep upgrading our softwares so that you can, just like the iPhone, let me just give an example of an iPhone phone. You find there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Why? Because they have to be upgraded. Otherwise, you'll be out of business. So in tech, there's no shortcut. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to get to know what is happening around the world. You have to upgrade whatever you're doing, the softwares you're doing or whatever you're doing, you need to upgrade that. And then we need a strong support system. My colleagues here spoke about the networking, to join in those women in tech, joining those, they really help in the network and everything. And then self-advocacy. Let's shout about our achievements, and let's know how to negotiate our worth when it comes to the promotions and pay discussions. And then for organizations, there's need for us to be fair when it comes to the hiring processes, and then to support employees and to take them for training and all that. Then what I would say is we need to kill that voice that says you are not enough. We need to kill that voice. And as you walk in tech, you'll definitely be walking in male-dominated rooms. So when you're there, don't go there thinking like you are a woman. Know that you are there because by merit. So carry yourself with confidence. And prepare yourself so that and have facts. You know how facts have nothing to do with gender. If something is a fact, it's a fact. So we need to do that. And you'll find people are listening to you actually. So visualize what you want to do and break your goals, and then you'll get there. So let's stop that notion that we are not enough. We are, and you're not there by luck. You have the merit to be there. So just have confidence and have your facts and just be knowledgeable. Thank you very much. I think most of the other things have been covered. I didn't want to repeat what has already been said. Thank you very much. Or something else to add, we do have attachments. We train people, so we have those opportunities at Pensoft. You can just look us up. We normally post those opportunities. We give women priority. In all honesty, we train them, and those that outdo themselves, we just absorb them. So you can follow us up. We are on LinkedIn also, Pensoft Systems Limited. Thank you.
That is great, Lynette. Lovely presentation. I can move to the people if they have any questions for Pensoft, if they have any questions specifically for Lynette or the whole session, you are welcome to ask. You can write it in the chat, you can raise your hand and speak. You're welcome. Okay, there is a request from Joy that you can write the name of Pensoft at the comments over there. Miss Lynette, that should be lovely. Okay. What I've gotten from the next session are the barriers to gender inclusivity. Why is it important that we do have gender inclusivity, and what does it do for companies when they have gender equality? I saw a hand Whoever it is, you can speak. Okay, this has been a lovely, lovely session. Maybe you can do a little challenge. You can write your name in the comments and what you've learned, and then we'll review a couple of them. What you've learned through all the 4 sessions before we move to the next one. Yes, so I'm going to start. I'm going to write my name in the comments, and I would ask you guys to do the same. As the next speaker, which is going to be Masi Nambura, is going to be reminding us about who women take, who is the women network, how to join it, how will it help, and all that. You can just write your name in the comments and what have you learned, what has been the most impactful session so far. Yeah, and wish each other happy Women in Tech Day. Okay. Seeing as we don't have any questions, we can move to Masi. Masi, you're very welcome to tell us about Women Tech Network.
Thank you so much, Carla. Thank you, everyone who has been gotten the time to attend this wonderful event, and to our speakers who have spoken to us, encouraging women globally and not just in Kenya, that it is possible in different sectors in tech. Just give me a minute to present my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen.
You can see it.
Okay. Wishing everyone a happy Women in Tech Day 2025. I'll introduce you to what is Women Tech Network. Women Tech Network is the leading global organization for women in technologies that provide opportunities for professional growth, networking, and career advancement. Our values are diversity, inclusion, empowerment, and collaboration. As Lynette said earlier, that women are encouraged to enter such networks to grow mentally and be guided on how you can navigate your way in the tech world, and not just in Women in Tech. We can in other networks as well, not in other sectors as well. So how to join the network? There is a link that I will share afterwards, and how to join the network and how to join our circle, specifically Women in Tech Network Kenya. And I'll demonstrate it here. Just search Women in Tech Network. You get to sign up and log in. For my case, I already logged in, so logging in. So here you'll find your badge and your profile. You can update your profile and the badges. So in the circles, you'll get to meet various circles where you can join a circle or start a circle as a leader. In Women in Tech Kenya, we encourage you to join the circle in global ways. And you are here you're requested to join. You join when you request to join, you get to write whatever you want here and share ideas with people, women specifically. Sorry. Yeah. So, Women Tech Network goals, it helps women in tech to grow professionally and identify career growth opportunities, give recognition to the success of the women in the tech, and empower them to become leaders and role models in their field, increase the number of women in tech and leadership positions within technology companies, and create a more diverse and inclusive tech industry. Provide a network and safe space for women in tech to connect with each other and collaborate. Inspire community leaders who are passionate about making a difference to global to build local women in tech initiatives for underrepresented groups in Kenya. So stay a relevant and leading resource for women in tech globally and having fun along the way. That was the end of my presentation, and I hope everyone learned something from that presentation and how you can join Women in Tech Network and Women in Tech Kenya. And again, much appreciation to our speakers. I can see they're diverse in ages and also people in different areas. Yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful advice. And I'll take this opportunity to welcome Shifra Wairima, the founder of Women Tech Network Kenya. Thank you.
Hello, guys. This was a very informative session. I've never been this excited because this, first of all, was the first event for Women Tech Network Kenya. And I really love the inclusivity between ages and between countries coming together and just sharing new ideas. I learned so many things from the first speaker, who was Bandana. And one thing I learned is that I can never be too young to start. And with Lynette, I can say I can never be too old to start also. With Gaida, I learned that it's not too late to start an innovation and building something for myself. I mean, we're ladies, and that doesn't mean that we should go work in an office 9 to 5 and you have an idea there, telling yourself that you can't do it, you can't make it. I mean, if you have that big idea, go ahead, start a company. We're here to support each other. That's why these communities are here for, just to help each other and guide each other through everything. It was once said with a speaker who I don't remember who it was, but I think it's Gaida. She said that you can never do things alone, which means that with these communities that we're trying to build here, I might know how to build something. You might be a program manager. You might be someone doing so different things altogether, and we might decide, let's make maybe a company that does this, and then build an MVP and then start rolling. Because I believe you're never too young to even build any startup. I've seen so many young people, brilliant minds doing so many things. I can't explain how excited and happy I am to have this session. Um, we have so many different visions and goals for Women Tech Network Kenya. Currently, we have 3 local chapter leaders, but we are planning to do all leaders from different locations in Kenya, Mombasa, Kisumu, everywhere, so that we can have a group for the local leaders, so that we can send them out to uh, help more communities outside there in Kenya. I'm going to give an example of me. I studied in Southeastern Kenya University in Kitui, and when I studied there doing my IT, I didn't have this kind of community. I didn't even know what Cyber Girls is. And when I joined cybersecurity, it felt so illegal that I don't even know what Cyber Girls is, Cyber Shuja, and it's because I was in the outcast of Kitui. And I really felt like I had the burden to go out there and help the women that are in those places, because I know it's not only Kitui. It might be even in Nairobi, but outcasts of Nairobi, women just don't know these kind of things. And it's because they're not involved in communities or maybe social media. They don't know how to use productively their social media handles. So that's why we have Women Tech Kenya. uh, the best thing about Women Tech Ed is that we are in collaboration with the Global Women Tech Network, meaning we'll be having the global support from our CEO, Anna. She supports this initiative so well. So we're going to be giving opportunities for local chapter leaders to the people in our community. So make sure you sign in Women Tech Network. I've sent the link in the chat box. So you should sign in the network and make sure you sign in the circle so that whenever we push that opportunity to get local leaders for the local chapters, you're going to be among them. Also, we're not only going to have the local chapter leaders and just send them out there and tell them, now go look for more women in tech. What's the main goal and purpose that we have for Women Tech Network is empowering. I'm going to give an example for the church I'm in. We have this slogan that says, teach one to reach one, that one may reach one. So what we do is that we take the leaders, train them with the global leaders or the leaders that we have internationally. Then after we have done that, we send them out to the local areas. So that's the main goal for Women Tech Network Kenya, so that we don't just send them dry and get a community. We might get them a community, but they don't know what they're going to do with the community. So once we train them and have them have the equipment of leadership, entrepreneurship, and all these kind of things, that's when we're going to send them out. So we're going to have these opportunities running in the channel and in our WhatsApp group. So make sure you tag along, join in. We're going to have so many international speakers. As you can see from our first event, we are very inclusive because one thing I believe in is global interaction and global competition, because I might say I'm in the highest level of technology, but when I try competing with someone at the global level, I find myself I am not in that rankings that I thought. So that's why I'm really inclusive on international cooperation, so that anytime we have any opportunity and we're trying to gauge ourselves in terms of talent, we know where we are. So thank you so much for this awesome event. I really wanted to, this event, we wanted to swear in some of our local leaders, but we have decided we're going to do that with all the local leaders available. So this was amazing. I really love it. Thanks to the team, Carla and Marcy. You guys have been so awesome in preparing the event and making the event amazing and wonderful. And thank you to the attendees who have attended, the 55, 56 who have attended. I'm really glad. I'm actually overjoyed because I know this is a starting point of something big, and I know uh, this is a place where we are going to send out help to people. I see there's some questions and hands up, so I think I'm just going to answer a few questions. Yes, Sifuna, hi. We can just take a question from Sifuna. Yes, you can also type your questions in the chat box so that we can see it if you're not really comfortable in. Okay, I think she can't hear me. With that said, I think I'm going to hand over the mic to Carla so that we can end this session.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I see Sifuna's said she doesn't have a question, so that's fine. But before we do close, finally, any questions, any comments, this is your time to take that courageous step and ask it. Network is your net worth. So this is the space. We have a lot of people here from different organizations. Yeah.
I think Carla got an issue somewhere. Is the internet maybe? With that, we want to appreciate everyone. Round of applause to our guests and our speakers today. Thank you so much. And I hope you have learned something from that event and more events to come. Kindly join, tell a friend, and so much welcome. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend and also a lovely Women in Tech Day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Have a nice time. Lovely meeting you guys. Gaida, Palesa, Badanda, Lindet. You guys have been amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you so much for putting this together.
Thank you.
Bye bye.